students, this is Miss Mason here, and we are in lesson 27. Geology lesson 27. We're going to just review mining and then talk about the types of mining and focus on coal mining today. Mining, again, is the extraction of an ore or mineral from the Earth's surface, the ground. All right, it's different than drilling. Mining is generally done to remove solid minerals or metals, and drilling is for liquids such as petroleum or for gas, such as natural gas. There are two types of mining procedures. There's a surface mining, where it is just what it says it is. So we mine, we're extracting things from the surface of the earth, versus subsurface. Subsurface, underground. So surface mining, subsurface mining. All right. Now, we're going to talk about types of surface mining. Surface mining is mining for mineral deposits around the surface of the earth. Anything that is less than 200 feet down is surface mined. Anything that is greater than 200 feet from the top of the surface of the earth is subsurface mined. There are three types of surface mines we have. The first one is open pit mining. And this is when there's to remove a large superficial, so superficial means on the surface, mineral deposits. So it's an open pit, just what it says it is. And it removes those superficial deposits. Examples are gold mines and copper mines. And as they mine from the surface, they work downward in layers. So they work downward in layers. And sometimes you'll see they look like steps. It looks like steps, and it's similar to steps because they're actually layering as they go down. Second type of surface mine are called quarries, and you see a lot of these here, limestone quarries. So they're mining for different types of stone, crushed stone, sand, gravel. Digging up the ground of the earth. So those are called quarries. And we use that for cement and concrete. So think of your roads as sidewalks, houses. And the third type of surface mine are the strip mines. And again, these are removing, generally this is for coal, so they're mined in like strips. They can be 165 feet wide and a little over half of a mile long. Some of the largest surface mines are in the west. One of the largest is the Bingham Copper Mine in Utah. And it's actually more than a half a mile deep. So it's 0.6 miles down. This is the largest man-made excavation on Earth. And this is for copper, mining for copper. It's about 2 miles wide. So it's about 2 miles wide and about a half a mile down. If we can't grow it, we mine it. So if you think of everything we use, everything comes from something. Everything really comes from the environment or nature. And whatever we use, it really comes from something we've grown or something we've mined. So, grow or mined. We're going to grow or mined today. So, growing or mined. So, the second main type of mining is called subsurface mining, and this is below the surface of the earth, so underground. It's very expensive to do because you have to create these passageways underground. You got to get elevators to bring the miners down and then bring up the mineral to the surface. very expensive, so that is why a lot of mining now is transitioning to open pit mining or surface mining. And coal mines used to be all underground, and now most coal mines are actually surface mines. Now we're going to talk about one of the non-renewable energy sources that is used worldwide, and actually it is the biggest provider of electricity on Earth. So it provides most of the energy for electricity on Earth, and that is coal. And coal is combustible sedimentary rock. Remember, it's bioclastic sedimentary rock. And it has a lot of hydrocarbons in it. So it has a lot of carbon and hydrogen. Carbon packed. So hydrocarbons are chemicals that have a lot of hydrogen and a lot of carbon. That's what they say. It's a non-renewable fossil fuel. It's an energy source. It's called a fossil fuel because coal was made from fossilized plants. So plants that died millions of years ago got packed down on the ground, and sediments started to pack on those dead plants, provided more pressure, increased temperature, more sediments packed on, increased pressure, increased temperature, and all those increased pressure and temperatures over millions of years have led to the production of coal from dead plants, really, fossilized plants. So that is really why coal is called a fossil fuel. It's made from fossils. Coal now is mainly surface mined. It used to be mined underground, but it is very expensive to do that. So most of the coal in the United States now is mined in surface mines. The United States is actually using less coal than we have in the past. But overall, over the world, worldwide, coal is the biggest energy source for electricity. The coal we use, of that coal, 92% is used for electricity. And most of the rest of it is used to make steel. We talked about steel, how steel depends on combustion of coal for energy. So power plants, see, how do we get electricity from coal? So power plants burn coal. Coal is combustible and it's packed with energy.
Coal is combusted or burned, which generates heat, and that heat is used to boil water and create steam, which moves the turbines and generates electricity.
The turbines really are machines that generate sort of a spinning power released from combustion of coal, and that generates electricity. So those spinning turbines generates electricity, but it all came from the combustion of the coal. If you think about it, just 1 pound of coal can produce enough electricity for 10 100-watt light bulbs for 1 hour. So just a pound of coal can generate enough electricity for 10 100-watt light bulbs for 1 hour. And it is still used, although in the United States we're depending less and less on coal because we see the harmful environmental effects it has in the mining process and combustion of coal. So today we learned about types of mines and coal mining and what coal is and its use and its harmful effects on the environment. So we're in Silicon Valley. This is the ingenuity here, a lot of science research to help change maybe our dependence on non-renewable fuels. 2013, there was a record landslide, largest landslide I think ever recorded on Earth, and it was due to that strip mining technique. So when you strip mine, you're basically cutting into the earth in layers, and then some of those layers below couldn't hold up the layers above the way it was cut, and the whole thing just crashed down in a landslide. So that's erosion. Remember, erosion, motion, erosion, motion. All right? Coal can also produce a lot of chemicals. So coal mines are not the healthiest place to be working. A lot of people that work in coal mines, they get lung diseases, asthma, respiratory problems. In fact, the whole story about the canary in the coal mine was when they'd take a canary bird down to the coal mine, and if the bird survived, that showed that the air quality was good, because birds have even more sensitive lungs than we do. And if the bird died, that was an indication that you don't want to go down to the mine, it wasn't safe. So that's where the whole phrase canary in the coal mine comes from. Sulfur dioxide is another chemical released when coal is combusted, and that produces acid rain. Methane is another chemical produced. Coal produces methane. So methane is a gas produced by decomposing things that have died. Bad smells methane. It's also produced in cows. They fart a lot and they burp a lot. And methane is produced as a greenhouse gas. Coal combustion also produces carbon dioxide, we talked about before, and heavy metal mercury. So there are definitely a lot of environmental problems using coal. Some scientists, though, are trying to research and coming up with new ways to make it a cleaner type of coal, although there really is no such thing as clean coal, but it's cleaner than it was. So they're using carbon capture, where there's like machines that'll capture the carbon dioxide before it's released into the atmosphere, and then they're going to take that carbon and store it underground. There's also something they call scrubbing, which is removing the sulfur, which actually that sulfur dioxide leads to acid rain. So these scrubbing machines supposed to remove the sulfur. It's better than it was, but it's not completely clean. So this whole purpose of this is to get you to think. Think for yourself. These are non-renewable. This is a non-renewable energy source. It's a fossil fuel. But like if you think about, if you relate it to money and you spend more than you earn, you're going to be broke. Well, right now we're going broke. The Earth is going broke because we are spending much more than what is being made. So the only way we can change is either spend less or make more. Problem is we can't make more with non-renewable resources because they take millions of years to make, so unless you find another way of making energy. But if we use non-renewable resources, we can't make more. So that part's out. Spending less is the only alternative if we're using non-renewable resources. So we have to try and figure out a way to spend less non-renewable energy sources. And the challenge for you is to think about ways that you can make a difference, because you're the future. Think about the future of the planet. Geology rocks, you rock, rock on, rock stars.